Everyone, hope you're all well and looking forward to having a chat with you tonight. Look forward to your input as usual. While we're waiting for a few people to join us, I will clear my throat. Now it's going to be a little bit different to normal because normally I would be sitting here talking to you, sharing things with you that's coming out of my head, out of my mouth. But because there's going to be lots of facts and figures in today's Monday with Martin, I'm going to be referring to my notes an awful lot. And so forgive me for that. I won't be able to be looking at the camera as much. You don't want to see his ugly mug anyway. But I have got some things to share with you that are quite frankly beyond disturbing. So, right, we've got a few people on already, so I'll start this as I always do, because I don't want to appear rude. I will say hello to the people on here at the moment. Paul Impey, hi. Louise Graham, John Simons, Gavin Brownlee, hello. Danny Barakat, hi there. Alan Williamson, David Allen, hello. How are you, my friend? Richard Parsons, Roy Lane. He says, when are we starting back? Where's that piece of string? I can find out how long it is. Chris Greer, hello, how are you? Ellis Wood, hello, my friend. Nice to see you. Kurt Conrad, hello. Yeah, thank you for joining. Darren Godfrey. Wow, there's so many people on here. Right. Stephen, but right, anyone I haven't said hello to, apologies. I'll try and catch up and answer this. All of your comments, if not tonight, because, wow, last week's one was crazy. First thing I want to say is, unfortunately, I have personally now got another 4 people in my immediate circle of family and friends that have tested positive for COVID, which is, hi Harry William Devlin. It's just sad, you know, it's just sad. What can I do? I'm trying to get my camera right. There you go. Yeah, another 4 people tested positive for it. So my thoughts, prayers, hopes and positive energies going out to them and anyone else that's been tested positive since last week. One thing I am very pleased about is I've heard of quite a few people getting the vaccine now, and that the government seems to be rolling that out quicker than I thought they were going to do, if I'm being completely honest. Literally just got off the phone with a family member who is in tier 2 for getting the jab. They've received their letter to say, yeah, you can get your vaccine now. I'm in tier 4. I should be getting mine within a month. Fingers crossed. So anyhow, let's try and look on something a little bit better. We were talking about the plight of AA and BSM instructors last week, and it obviously resonated with a lot of people because Monday with Martin normally gets between 1,000, 3,000 views. This got 7,500 views. Yeah, it's over 20% of the ADI register saw Monday with Martin last week. So thank you for that, and please let's keep this awareness going and sharing it. And I think it helped a little bit to get the plight of AA and BSM instructors noticed by the media, and there was a very good piece. I was trying to think of the correct adjective for it, but it's just a really good and supportive piece in the Sunday Times about exactly how badly, in my opinion, the AA and BSM are treating their customers, their franchisees, and how badly they're being affected. So thank you for all the views and all the shares, and I want you to do it again. Let's get this out there because we need to raise awareness even more. If anybody knows anybody in the TV media, you know, video media. Let's just get this out there and shame them, because I think what they're doing is shameful. And I'm not just going to say it because it's an opinion, although it is my opinion. Hi Faisal, nice to see you. Here's where I go. I'm going to read some facts and figures, so please forgive me for not looking directly at the screen. I'm reading directly from something that I've transcribed from something that was sent out from BSM and AA management to their instructors. And this is word for word. The title of this particular part is Reintroduction of the Fee Deferral Scheme and Extended Repayment Terms up to 24 months. Okay, up to 24 months. All franchisees can defer fees under the scheme. Okay, deferment's not as good as having it waived, but let's read on. They can defer it up to the end of February from the date the area that you live in went into lockdown or tier 4. Okay, that sounds good. Excuse me, can we also make a point this is also affecting their solo car leases? I'm going to mention that, yes. Harris Firm says that I've been with AA 12 years, previous with BSM 4.5 years. This is just a shame. Couldn't agree more with you, my friend. It carries on. Second bullet point. These payments can now be deferred for over 24 months, or the remaining length of your contract, whichever is the longest. So they are actively trying to get you tied in for a longer period of time. You can defer it for 24 months or the length of your contract. If your length of your contract is 6 months, it's got to be 24 months, which is the longest. So they're trying to get you more money in the long term. Let's move on to the third bullet point. If you're in, and this is so wonderfully generous of them, if you're in a position to repay any deferral balances in full sooner than this 24 months, please contact, and it's got the email address, and speak to the team that deal with that, as long as you pay it in full before. So they're not missing a trick there. It then goes on. Introduction to the fee waiver scheme. Brilliant. It sounds great, doesn't it? The fees are going to be waived. There's a fee waiver scheme. Now, the fourth week, and this is verbatim, the fourth week of every consecutive, poor grammar, but for every consecutive in lockdown, is now free for January and February. This is a requirement. Can't read my own writing. Sorry, this is equivalent to waiving the non-car part of the franchise fee 1 week for every 4 weeks, 1 week. So what they're saying basically is the car part of the franchise fee is approximately 75% of your franchise fee. Now, I know a lot of you are on different contracts, but some are on £270 a week, plus VAT, plus pupil introduction fees of £40 per pupil. Let that sink in for a second. £270 a week, plus VAT, I believe. I stand to be corrected on that. Plus pupil introduction fees of £40 if they pay up front for 5 lessons, and £20 if they pay up front for more. Work that out. What they're telling you there is that the car section, the car part of your franchise, is £202.50 if it's 270 in total, plus VAT, I believe. Does that not, in your opinion, I know in my opinion, it makes the AA and BSM a glorified car leasing company. I really can't bring myself to call them a driving school anymore. And as Louise Graham was just saying, and I was just going to mention this, to be eligible, you have to be on a fixed term contract with us, open brackets, either 12 or 24 months, close brackets, including trainees, solo or partner light. Now, when this waiver scheme was first announced, there was question and answers going backwards and forth. I've seen them. And one of the questions that was asked to the management is, why are solo trainees, etc., not getting it? And they said, well, we're now doing it because we want it to be consistent. But hold on, then they're waiving the part of the franchise fee that is not car related. So they're not really treating solo, although I'm glad they are doing it, solo and partner light customers the same. But here's the rub, right? Here's the kicker. They say they're doing it in the interest of consistency. Remember that, please. They're saying it's for the sake of consistency and to be fair across the board. Paul Jackson says the fees are inclusive of VAT. Right, thank you very much. Okay. Carrying on from that, I would like to say something that I've just worked out, right? If your franchise fee is £270 a week plus VAT, plus £40 pupil introductory fee per pupil, and you're getting 2 pupils a week off them, which isn't a great deal, you know, especially if you're trying to build a diary up from scratch, you are looking at a franchise fee of £1,400 a month minimum. How on earth are these poor people expected to pay £1,400? I know a lot will be less, but that is going to be £1,400. Seriously? Really? It's terrible. But you wanted to defer it for the solo and the partner light for the sake of consistency. Okay, remember that. Next bullet point. Having been living in a tier, you have to have been living in a tier 4 or equivalent region for 3 consecutive weeks and are entering the 4th consecutive week to qualify for this. Next bullet point. Please note that if you terminate your contract prior to the 31st of December 2021, we will require the waived fees to be paid back in full. So they're not really waiving them, are they? It is a deferment by another name. It's crazy. Now, I want to read something else out here. Waived fees. Okay, we're in the middle of a pandemic. As I say, it's got worse. It's evil. Just me, myself, and I don't go out anywhere. I haven't done for months, nearly a year. 4 people in my circle have tested positive for COVID in the last few days. Okay, terrible, terrible things happen to anyone. But do you remember earlier on they said, we're doing this, we're offering this, this and this, aren't we good guys? Because we want to be consistent. Now I'm going to be fair and objective here, because I know that pre-COVID, or actually post-COVID even, the AA and BSM have completely waived fees for 4 weeks that I know of. It might be longer, some shorter, when people have been legitimately sick. Post-COVID, when they've been on the extremely critically vulnerable list and they've got the letter to prove it, their fees were waived for up to 4 weeks, okay, which it's a help. Anything that's waived is a help, right? It's got to be. Now, they've waived that for someone who was ill and couldn't work because of their health, right? There was at least one person that I know of that was hospitalised over the Christmas period with COVID, and they still demanded that he pay his full franchise fee. And that's when he cancelled his direct debit. I don't blame him. Now, let's be honest. Okay, well done on one hand for waiving the fee for 4 weeks of someone that has been legitimately ill. I think they were having chemo and they were on the extremely critically vulnerable list. They had the letter to prove it. 4 weeks waived. Brilliant. But then you've got someone with COVID and they wouldn't waive it. And this guy was in hospital. Now, where's the consistency there? You are telling us with one hand how consistent you want to be, but then with the other hand, you're proving how inconsistent you're being. It's just not fair. The cynic in me is saying, I wonder why they won't do it for someone with COVID. Is it because they think there's a possibility a huge percentage of instructors could end up being tested positive with COVID? Whereas if it's somebody with, not to downplay it, a lesser ailment, maybe if they're having chemo or something, and I'm not downplaying that at all, that's terrible as well, but they might have crunched the numbers and thought, well, not as many people are going to, yeah, you know what? Let's not waive it for COVID because it's going to cost us a fortune. And that's just wrong. You're inconsistent. You're wrong. And one thing I'm never going to forget, right? God, how long ago was it? I was a franchisee with the AA. Right. You're not a person. You're a number. My instructor number was 2534. I remember it now, 20 odd years later. That was my instructor number. You're a number. Right. And that is where you, and I'm directing this to all the senior management of AA and BSM, are falling down. These people are just that. They're people. They're not numbers for you to crunch. Okay, they are people with families, with homes, with lives. They've got to feed their families. They've got to put roofs over their families' heads. This is a disgrace beyond anything I've seen in my 30 years in this profession. This is terrible. The instructors have even offered to pay the car for the car portion of £65 a week, which I believe is what Bill Plant is charging. They've offered to, to pay the same. Do the AA want to be consistent with that? Do they heck? Turned it down flat. Turned it down flat. Now, while I let my blood pressure go down a little bit, I'm going to say hello to a few more people. We've still got some more things to read out to you. Martin Caswell, hello, my friend. He said it's a shame that these companies don't operate the way they did back when he first started in 1974. We were self-employed, but we as instructors were paid for each lesson we worked. Yeah, me too. Therefore, if I had no work, we didn't earn. I know how things have changed, eh? And how things might change again. Who else is? Oh, Andy Bevan, hello, mate. Top man. Sammy Taylor said, best way to operate a business, then you get, oh, sorry, right, I'm misreading you. It says, then you get happy and loyal customers. Yes. Who else have I missed? Lee Elliott, just to mention this, AA Breakdown got Christmas hampers and £400 bonuses into their accounts. This came from a call-out mechanic on Friday. Yeah, so why are they not waiving the fees? Are they saying it's because they can't? I mean, I've read what they've said. They're saying, oh, it's not a sustainable thing to do for our business. And they're paying £400 bonuses, and good for them. The AA patrols work very, very hard. And hamper. Ben Moody says, I resigned 10 days ago and asked about setting up a payment plan, to which I was told all fees need paying off when I leave. So you've even offered to pay them, and I just asked them to be a little bit flexible with the payment plan. But then just recently, then they sent an email asking to contact. It's crazy. Right. So what else do I want to say? The lady, Louise Graham, that started the Facebook group, the ADI, the AA BSM, the Real Instructors Forum. Well, she's done wonders. As I say, got an article in the Sunday Times. Can't knock that. Sunday Times, very prestigious publication. Now, here's something that the AA put in that article. Graham, still didn't call her Louise, which I think is a bit rude, but I'll call her Louise Graham, attempted to contact Sarah Rees, who's the managing director of AA Driving Schools, but she was ignored until she commented on Rees's LinkedIn profile. And Louise went on to say, the AA's been avoiding everyone, so we decided to stop our direct debits. And now the phone calls are coming in with threats of legal action. And boy, are they coming. It's amazing how they found that the use of the phones again when that started. The AA said, we dispute this. No contact was received from Louise Graham prior to her LinkedIn posts. Louise Graham was contacted proactively by driving school management following her post. Since then, Graham and others in her group have had 2 Zoom calls with Rees and have sent an email to her outlining why they accept what they accept as fair support. Okay. AA is saying Louise didn't contact them. Right, I've got screenshots here. Okay. And just to be fair to Louise, because if she's being made out to be less than truthful by saying she didn't contact them, she contacted them on the following dates. Twice on the 24th of the 12th, once on the 27th of the 12th, once on the 30th of the 12th, once on the 6th of January, once on the 10th of January, once on the 12th of January. And these are those that I had. I don't have, obviously, for privacy purposes, with the content of the but Louise has got the content of every email and every bit of interaction she's had with them. And it's simply not true, them saying that she didn't contact them before she commented on the managing director's LinkedIn profile. It's not, you know, let's be fair and honest. Let's not try and attack people personally. Let's do that. Now, there's one more thing that I'd like to say. Let me find the right piece of paper, because I've got bits of paper coming out of my ears here. This is something I just received tonight. Do they not want to pay this, or can they not afford to pay it? Now, if they have no money and they cannot pay it, although I still wouldn't agree with it, I would understand it. But here's a couple of facts and figures for you. In the 9 months ending on the 31st of March, 31st of January last year, the AA Driving School generated £34 million of income in that 9 months. In the same 9 months, AA Drive Tech generated £62 million. So let's not talk about the other AA companies and their breakdowns and insurance, signs, and all the other different things. Just the AA Driving School and Drive Tech, between them in 9 months, generated £96 million. They can afford it. They just don't want to pay it. And it's not right. It's not right. Now, every single one of these franchisees have to sign to say they're not allowed to say anything on social media or use their cars for anything that could possibly bring the brand into disrepute. Well, I haven't signed one, so I can say it. By all means, share what I've said on here tonight everywhere you can, because this needs showing up for the disgrace that it is. There are, I think, approximately 4,000 combined AA and BSM instructors. £96 million in 9 months, you can afford it. Yes, it's going to cost you a lot of money, but you've done, and again, you mentioned consistency in your communications to the instructors. You waived the fees during the first lockdown, but not in lockdown 2. It went to a deferment, and lockdown 3 is even worse. Why on earth can you not be consistent? You've got the money. They're people. They're not numbers. They're people. Treat them like it. Now I'm going to say hello to some more people, and hopefully, anyone's got any comments, I'll be happy to read them out. I'll just try and keep up with them all. Craig Sharp says, if that fixed term contract requires you to have a different car, then your contract starts when the new car's delivered. I know. I mean, people that have been loyal to this company for donkey's years, they're on the old contract that isn't fixed term. They can leave with 4 weeks notice, right? But if they want to defer any money or have anything waived, they have to have a 12 or 24-month contract. That's screwing them down to the floor after they've shown years, sometimes like decades of loyalty. Where are... I just can't. I'm getting a tongue tied, and that doesn't happen very often. But this is like really getting me. Yeah, Louis says, plus they've got to pay deferral fees from the last lockdown. All right, let's have a look. Okay, Arif says, I have a 12-month contract in November. I was told that due to COVID, I would get a new car in January 21. However, no new contract would start in January, therefore extending my contract from 12 months to 15 months. Sorry, someone's knocked at the door. Dog's gone mad. Yeah, if they haven't actually delivered the car, is that breach of contract? Should the contract have actually been enforced? I'm not a lawyer, I don't know. I think it's just, I'll just leave it out there. Who else is on here? Local driving school says the AA is owned by private equity companies who only want profit. Yeah, I know. Yeah. David Allen says, Martin, a number of years ago, I was on a franchise that paid a percentage of your lesson to BSM. BSM tried to change the T's and C's of the contract, so I had to pay more. I got a phone call from one of the managers, which was basically a threat. Told them to, says Seymour, get stuffed. Politely, of course. Graham says, Martin, it's tea time. You know what? Yeah. Richard Martin says, if it's not already been done, this needs picking up by associations, NASP, and talking to MPs. It's been picked up by the Sunday Times. MPs read the Sunday Times, but I'm making a direct plea to anyone out there that's got contacts in the larger media. Please contact them, make them aware of this. This needs highlight. It needs a light shone on it. Take it out of the shadows and all of the, oh, this would not be good for our business model. 9 months, you made 96 million quid. Right? You can afford to help these people. Anthony Michael Jr. said, oh, I'm glad I'm independent. It's AAP, ruin their reputation. You know what? Their reputation's ruined within our profession. This has absolutely ruined their reputation. They can't come back from this. They just cannot. What, in my opinion, will help get some kind of fairness and justice and economic assistance for their existing instructors is for their brand to be threatened by people, not threatened, let's use that the wrong way. Their brand is tarnished within our profession. If it was going to be tarnished outside our profession to Joe Public, how many members of Joe Public think the AA are like, yeah, great brand? If they watched this, if they read that Sunday Times article, would they still think that? No, I don't think they would. And on that note, I don't want to keep you any longer. Thank you for watching. Please share this everywhere. Was there anything else I needed to say? I think there was one thing, actually. I've got so many bits of paper today, so many facts and figures, it's crazy. Let's have a look. Yeah. Please, if anybody has any individual things they'd like to share with me that they think I might be able to help them with, let me know. I'm going to be doing everything I can to help, because then they're your people. And you know, the title of this Facebook Live was Stronger Together, and I always finish every Facebook Live by saying I think driving instructors are awesome individually, but we're stronger together. I've been saying it for years and using that hashtag for like nearly 4 years. It's never been more relevant than it is now. I've got a really busy week. I'm delivering a Zoom module on Wednesday on module 2 of our CPD course in business development. On Thursday, both myself and Simon Clark are delivering a video creation masterclass, which is £47. So it's for 90 minutes, and you're going to learn a lot of stuff there that will help you stand out from the crowd. One of the things, funny enough, I used to do when I was a senior area manager with the AA was run presentation skills courses. So I'll be sharing some of those little gems with you as well. There are still some places left. There are limited places. If you would like to book your place on that course, go onto the Driving School Development website or Facebook page, and the link will be on there. It's on Thursday, 2 o'clock for an hour and a half. Take care, everyone. I hope next week I can come on here and be a bit more positive and share some good news. I hope that this and anything else, like I say, share this to everyone you can, because if you don't know somebody that's in the mainstream media that can shine a light on this and get it out of the shadows, maybe they'll know someone that can. So share this to as many places as possible. Please keep yourself safe and well. I know it's hard than ever, because like I say, I'm seeing people I know now that are catching it. Right? Take care. God bless you all. Keep safe. And for those people in that franchise, you are in my thoughts and my prayers, and I wish you all the best, and I hope and pray that you are going to get some justice, because what's happening to you at the moment is completely unjust. If I can't reply to all of the comments tonight, I will do so tomorrow. Okay. Just before I go, just in case there's any last minute questions, Eric Wing says AA are not fit for purpose. Arguable point. Yeah. Faisal says, what is the solution going forward, Martin? What's the strategy? Is there a roadmap of milestones to reaching goals, etc.? Well, Faisal, let me tell you something, my friend. There is roadmap. This has been affecting me so bad. I haven't been able to sleep, believe it or not, and I'm not even one of their instructors. I stayed up till 6:30 the other morning, right? And I wrote out a business plan where you could end up with the largest driving school in the country, but the most ethical as well. But there's got to be a will for it to happen. There's got to be the will to say, let's make money, but look after people, not disregard people. People and money, you know, one doesn't have to, then they're not mutually exclusive. You can look after both. You can run a profitable, very profitable, ethical driving school, and you can look after your customers, the people, because if you do that, do you know what? They're going to stay longer. They're not going to want to leave. How many people want to leave the AA and BSM now? I wonder, percentage-wise. So, Faisal, yeah, there is a way to do this, absolutely. Whether they've worked it out or whether they're interested in working it out, who knows? Lee Elliott says, I've resigned 2 weeks ago after 15 years and paid them over £150,000 in franchise fees. Even paid the franchise after knee surgery when I couldn't work. Where's the loyalty? I still haven't had a call back regarding my resignation. Well, I'll tell you what, Lee, I'm not going to look for any more quotes or anything else in the chat, because that just sums it up. Look after each other. Thanks for watching. Share this everywhere. Please share it. Get the light, spot a big, bright spotlight on this. And I look forward to speaking to you next Monday with some good news. Fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. 7 days can be a long time, can't it? Take care, everyone. And thank you very much for spending some of your very valuable time watching this. Take care.